Hey everyone. Hey everyone. Welcome to SBR Sports Picks. My name is Peter Lojak. This is a live show that we do every day at 10:30 Eastern Time, and I give my official MLB picks in these shows. 3-0 yesterday, baby. 3-0-1, bringing me to 10-2 on the week.
Wow.
Now,
can you believe that?
If I keep this up, at some point I'm going to write a joke acceptance speech, and that one should be pretty funny, where I'll thank all the people that and the websites and all the people who need thanks. And of course,
if you keep it up, it won't be a
the
joke.
SBR family and all the viewers. Yeah, I'll give some thanks now. I'd like to thank the entire SBR family. There's a lot of people I have to thank for my current run of success. A lot of websites. You know, I'd like to thank the administration of Costa Rica for providing me with an environment where I can thrive. All right. I don't know. I'm gloating too much. Am I gloating too much? Yeah. I don't know. Gloating is always the kiss of death.
You did just thank an entire country and culture.
Yeah. All right. Today, see if I can do it again. No one cares about what happened the past week, the past day. We've got a low-hanging fruit one again. I seriously think it's been 2 weeks or 10 days
since you created it.
Yeah.
You lost one.
Yeah, exactly. All right. The people are commenting on it. Dale04 saying low-hanging fruit in abundance today. Yes. Obviously, what we have here is a failure to get major league hitters out when it comes to Jared Weaver. And once again, we have
Jared Weaver Day.
Yep, it's Jared Weaver Day. That's awesome. That's awesome. We should make a graphic for that.
It's really nice that you have a holiday that comes once a week.
Yeah. Wow, he's on fire today. Yeah, it is. It's nice you have a holiday. Comes once a week. Today is that holiday. It is Jared Weaver Day. Now, each Jared Weaver Day, of course, though, slightly different.
Yes.
Slightly different, right. Now, today...
look, we grow and change.
Yeah, right. Taijuan Walker's on the other side, and Taijuan Walker has been a little shaky recently. And Jared Weaver, as we know, he's not necessarily a guy who's going to definitely get lit up every time. He might have his last start was fine, if you remember. Last Jared Weaver Day was disappointing. That's like when it rains on a holiday, when Jared Weaver comes in and throws 6 innings.
It's like when it rains on Halloween.
Yeah. So it rained last Jared Weaver Day, and he had a 6-inning start that was quality. And so in this start, it's at home against Arizona. Would not be a surprise if Weaver, of course, gives up his runs, but he only gives up 3 or 4. And if that happens, Taijuan Walker's been very shaky recently. He could easily match Weaver's mediocrity or subparness. And then you're looking at a little bit of a risky bet. But on the other hand, the line is, once again, is just so low, right? Yes. I mean, you got Jared Weaver, who's an auto fade, and you got Arizona, who's been killing it game in and game out. And you're thinking, all right, maybe you'll see like a 170 line, and you'll be a little bit nervous about taking that. But it opened in like the minus 130s.
Good Gucci. Yeah, why?
I don't know. And I mean, Taijuan Walker has also been shaky as well. But even now, it's sitting here, pinnacle 139. All the other books are in the low 140s. So I just have to do it, because even if Taijuan Walker is off of his game, and then you're in the later innings, again, you got Arizona's lineup against San Diego's lineup, and San Diego, they've got some big league hitters. But at this at this line, I have to take it. At this line, I have to take it, right? I held off of Washington when Tanner Rourke started smartly. I bet it, but I didn't give it as a pick or a lean because I realized that it was a little trappy. But this one, I don't think it is. So I'll start things off. This is not the official low-hanging fruit, although it might be, because it's definitely hanging low. But I'm going to take Arizona -1. The money line part of that is going to be minus 139. The run line part of that is going to be plus 121. That's both at pinnacle. So you got Arizona -1 at like a minus 105 line here. If it loses, if San Diego starts Jared Weaver against Arizona and they win the game, I lose 1 unit.
Yeah. Unbelievable.
Don't understand that.
And you weren't necessarily wrong.
Yes. Okay.
The unexpected happens.
All right, so let's see. I'm looking at one comment here. Some guy says, "You hear less, see more." Says bad picks yesterday was losers Cincinnati, loser Baltimore. Dude?
I got them written down. It wasn't Baltimore or Cincinnati.
Hey, asshole! You hear less, come more. I gave 4 official picks yesterday. Arizona -1 was a push. The Dodgers -1, the low-hanging fruit, was a winner. The Reds team total over was a winner, and the other one was the Yankees
team total.
Second half.
The second half.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
You hear less, see more. Get up. Stop watching the show. Bad picks yesterday. I went 3-0-1 yesterday, asshole. Yes, I did give the opinion that Baltimore first half was a lean and Cincinnati moneyline was a lean. That's true, and they did both lose. But my official picks, 3-0-1, 10-2 on the week. Please, what's that guy's name? What's that guy's name? I mean,
Asshole.
I'm desperate for ratings because the brass here at SBR, rightfully so, looks at these metrics very carefully. But please, you hear less, Seymour, just click off the video, please.
Give us a like first.
Is that okay that I did that? We've got one of the SBR brasses here, and I just told the guy to stop watching. And all right. So I've given Arizona -1 as the first pick of the day. Also, obviously, the Arizona team total over 4.5, just like with the Dodgers team total over 4.5 yesterday. Also, for similar reasons, probably a good pick. I might give that one by the end of this show, but as of right now, I might change it to a pick. I'm just saying.
I have a special area for your official picks so that we don't have these situations.
As of right now, I'm just going to stick with it one way. But yesterday I just cost myself a unit by not throwing on the Dodgers team total over. All right, other interesting situations and other interesting games. Let's see. There's a lot of them actually. I guess not really any low-hanging fruit. That might have to be low-hanging fruit. But in the early game, Milwaukee and the Cubs, I'm leaning under. It's a low total. It's 8. But you got Espino against Butler. Obviously, 2 young arms, but also 2 young arms who are promising. Espino is one of these guys who you do see this. He's one of these old rookies, right? And we saw who was the guy with the vicious for Milwaukee, the guy with the split-fingered fastball who was like 32 years old yesterday and had a run of like half a season where he was awesome. What the hell was that guy's name?
A reliever?
No, a starter. But anyway, his name is escaping me because he's not pitching this year. But you do see this sometimes with these guys who have been like career minor leaguers. And then Guerra, yes, Guerra.
Javi Guerra?
No, I forgot his first name. Junior Guerra. There you go. Junior Guerra. Yeah. So Espino might be one of those guys, a guy who has solid numbers in the minors, a career minor leaguer, gets brought up, and then has 1.5 year to a year and a half or 2 years of excellence. That might be happening. And on the other side, Eddie Butler has some some questionable numbers. He used to pitch for Colorado, right? So in his career, he used to pitch for Colorado, but AAA this year, he was great. He also had a start already this year, which was fine. So I'm thinking that the under in Milwaukee Cubs might be a good play. And you know what? I'm gonna have to do that. I'm gonna throw that one on there. It's gonna be 8 plus 104. That's a pinnacle number. That's a second pick. Early game, Milwaukee, Chicago, under 8 plus 104. Hopefully Espino doesn't get lit up in his first major league start. But and if it does happen, we saw this last night when that guy Hernandez started for Boston. A lot of times, these guys in their first major league starts, they're by far their shakiest inning is the first inning. You'll see a lot of these guys have a shaky first inning and settle down the second, third, and fourth. So you might want to even hedge that with a bet on the Cubs in the first inning or something like that. But if Espino struggles, hopefully he won't. So I'm going to throw that one on there as well. All right, let's see what else is interesting. Right, the Angels and Mets series. This is an interesting one. I asked Drew Martin about this on our show yesterday, and it was a tough question. And he was like, "Yeah, that's a tough one." Of course, the Mets have been terrible, right? Second worst team in the majors overall, and they're even worse at home.
I was talking to somebody about it last night. How they started off the season as contenders, and almost instantly their season is completely over.
Well, because they had all those injuries, and the ironic part is, like, if they told you at the beginning of the series, okay, this is what's going to happen with the Mets, their offense is going to be way better than you thought, blah blah. You'd be like, oh my god, but no,
they're unstoppable.
Yeah, second worst team in the majors right now, and even worse at home, minus 31% ROI at home. So they're playing the Angels. The Angels, as many West Coast teams like Seattle have, a stark home road discrepancy. Much better at home. They're like plus 20% or something at home, minus 15% or whatever on the road. So now they're traveling across country here to the Mets, but they're getting a nice little road underdog line there. So I'm definitely leaning the Angels on the second half, and maybe a bit stronger. I'm leaning to the under at 7.5. DeGrom is a tricky one, right? He's been getting a ton of strikeouts, but also getting hit a bit and giving up some runs. In Alaska, when his sinker ball is working, you're not going to score on him. But when it's not, you're going to get a lot of home runs. And because when the sinker ballers are not working, you're basically throwing a meatball up there. And it's just, they have a high volatility, and when they're off, they get crushed. But I think Nolasco might have a good start here, might have a bounce-back start. So maybe the Mets on the under at 7.5 might be a good play as well. And then the Washington-Atlanta game, also very interesting. Dickey and Gonzalez, obviously now the big news, Freeman out for
that's tough.
Yeah.
And, oh, boy, they just dropped Ryan Howard, too. He could have been a big.
Right. Yeah. Now, I've been saying in many of these shows for a while now that I thought that the Atlanta offense was undervalued and likely to be more productive than people were expecting. Now, that is no more.
Yeah.
Without Freeman, there could be a synergistic effect. Now, some of our viewers don't know what that necessarily means, that word, but what that means is that that when you lose something, it is the negative effects are greater than just the absolute value of that entity. That, in other words, he's going to have a negative effect on the hitters who hit around him, in front of him and behind him, because they're going to get, worse pitches to hit. The big Matt Kemp will get more pitches that he can't hit.
Right.
So it remains to be seen what's up with Atlanta. Now, the issue is that Gonzalez obviously has definitely been coming crashing back down to earth, and he's been struggling. Still, though, with no Freeman, and then Dickey on the other side. We've talked about Dickey. He's a guy who, he's reliably not shitty, right? As many knuckleballers are. He's never going to be rarely going to be lights out, right? Most of his starts are going to be like 6 innings, 3 runs, 4 runs, but he's rarely going to have one of those, 8-run starts, So he's probably going to give a solid start. And on the other side, Gonzalez isn't going to be lights out. But again, then when the later innings come in, that's when the lineup, discrepancy really starts to play out.
That kind of leads into one of the questions that somebody asked me, and something I get up a bunch is, what is the value of first half and full game as it pertains to baseball?
Okay,
right now
first of all, in general, I prefer to take full games, strictly because you will always pay less juice with the full games, because the books offer reduced juice on full games, and you have market lines that you can shop around with. Whereas with the first halves, you're paying 9 lines. You're paying 20-cent lines, and there's not a lot of discrepancy. Sometimes one book will have a line 5 cents better than the other, but you're never going to see more than that. You're never going to see a first half line that's more than 5 cents off of what some other book is offering.
Okay.
And when it comes to full game lines, first of all the books are offering, most of the books are offering reduced juice. And when you're shopping around, there's small discrepancy. So the overall market juice that you're paying on full games is significantly better than the juice you pay on first 5. So just for that reason, I like to take full games. But if the value is big enough, then I will go for a 5-inning line. But if you notice, I haven't taken any 5-inning official plays.
Second halves,
Yeah.
though. So,
Same deal.
I guess I wrote down first halves, but I guess what I meant to ask was halves.
And the same thing.
In general.
Same thing. Also with second halves, you're paying higher juice, and there might be some discrepancies book to book, but not more than 5 cents. So you really have to have a not necessarily an overwhelming reason, but a very strong, confident reason for taking only the first half or the full game to justify the extra juice that you're paying. And certainly there are those times for sure. But in general, I prefer full game lines for that reason only. All right, so let's see. That was all right. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Oh, here we go. Big Man Gamma saying Matt Tessaro is on fire today. Yes, a couple of real zingers in a row from you, Matt Tessaro, for sure. Whatever you did last night, that might be something you might want to prepare for.
Definitely not hungover and sweating horribly in a sweatshirt with no actual shirt.
However you prepared for this show, that's you are.
What time is it?
Served you well.
I've been awake for 23 minutes.
Yeah, everyone's asking for the low-hanging fruit of the day. The obvious low-hanging fruit of the day is a fade of Jared Weaver, and we will get to that in a second. I definitely gave that one as an official pick already. So getting back to the Washington game, Washington -1 is also, obvious, no-brainer, low-hanging fruit type of play here. And it's just what are you going to get from Dickey and what's going to happen with Atlanta. All right, I'll think about that for a second.
Go on, that's a great.
What's that?
You just wrote Dreamweaver.
Yeah, yes, absolutely. So another play that I'm liking is the over in Cleveland and Cincinnati. Now you got Bauer and Morton, and Bauer coming off of one of his better starts, right? He still gave up a bunch of runs, but he didn't have any walks, which is a big problem of his. He had a bunch of strikeouts. So what's going to happen here? But going up against Houston, he's not going to catch any breaks, right?
No.
And then on the other side, Charlie Morton, who, what the hell happened to him at the beginning of the year? Some people made some suggestions that maybe it had something to do with some kind of juice. Who knows? He's still getting his strikeouts, but he's definitely coming back down to earth, giving up a bunch of runs, and I'm liking the over at 8.5 here. Now it does appear to be headed down. It opened at 9, now it's down to 8.5. So not all of my early leans the market agrees with. It's a tough one. I'm going to think about that one. It's definitely a lean though, for sure. The over 8.5 in Cleveland and Houston. But as you know, Matty Ice, I'm being very careful with my picks, only giving the ones that I'm really willing to go to bed with, go to war with. And that's why
now you're going 3-1, or 3-0-1,
right.
I should say.
That's why I have a positive record, and why people like that asshole who made a comment that I had a losing day yesterday are wrong. All right, so let's see. Also, obviously, we have Chris Sale going. That's the next game. I'm sure at some point there's going to be a cascade of questions
Dodgers
about that one.
235 today.
Yes.
Ugh.
Now, I had the Dodgers yesterday. Wood obviously has been great. Now, Wood's a guy. This is a perfect example where Wood is a guy who's been great. He's definitely, and we know just because of the style he pitches, he's a 5 or 6 inning pitcher, right? So he's only going to go 5 or 6 innings. So this is a situation where it might be worth a shot to take. If you want to time a shot with the Dodgers in the first 5, you can do that. But there's a clear, first and second half likely split going on in this game. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I'm going to look into it more to see if I want to play the game any which way. As of right now, it's a pass, and I haven't bet it. All right, let's see. What else is interesting? We're going to get to comments in a second. I'm just going over everything. Oh yeah, another interesting one. Texas at Detroit, right? Texas coming off of just really an impressive 9-game sweep of 3 teams. Now, all 3 of those teams, though, were very, very suspect and weak, right? It was Oakland, San Diego, and Philly. Doesn't mean it wasn't impressive what Texas did, but it does come with a minor.
Look, they're still major league teams, right?
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. Now, though, they're going on the road. Now it's going to be a little bit different. They're going to go into a Detroit. Martinez against Norris. Norris, as we know, having control issues. He still has the talent there, but not putting it together. I definitely feel like the spot favors Detroit here as a modest favorite. That is also a lean. I did bet it a little bit, and I'm thinking about it. It's a little bit high for my liking. I wish I was getting like 115 as opposed to where it is right now, which is like 135 to 140. If it was 115, I would have pulled the trigger on it. If it's 135 to 140. I'm going to wait and see. I'm talking about it, but I'm waiting and seeing about it. And then the other game that I was looking at also had a pretty good read with totals in Seattle, mostly with overs this year, and they have mostly cash. Now you have Quintana and Miranda, and a relatively low total because obviously both Quintana and Miranda can be quality lefties. Quintana's a little bit hard to read. At a certain point in the past, Quintana was one of the most underrated and under the radar starting pitchers in baseball, and he was great. Start in and start out, very reliable. This year, though, he's been shakier, and Miranda also a wild card, up and down. When he has control issues, he has bad starts. When he's controlling his control issues and he doesn't have command issues, he's the kind of guy who's going to give you 7 shutout innings. Now, what are we going to see here? I'm not exactly sure. The White Sox hit lefties very, very well. It's a low total, 7.5 at some places, 8 at others, and I would definitely be leaning to the over in that one. But this one also I might keep as a lean. And for anyone who doesn't like that, eat me. I'm concerned about my. You see how well I say that. I'm concerned about my overall public record. If I have a negative record, you are absolutely welcome to take shots at me. But that's why, if you're going to take shots at me with my public record, I'm going to be extra careful about making sure my public record is good. Right? So if you don't like the fact that I'm giving opinions and leans and not making them official picks, eat me. All right? Eat me. Here we go. Let's see. What else do we have here? Let's see. And all right, I guess that's about it. I did give the opinion with Drew Martin yesterday. Drew Martin's kind of high on this guy, Luis Alberto Bonilla for Cincinnati. He likes him. I kind of don't. Because Colorado's off the doubleheader, I'm gonna hold, and because of the conditions in Cincinnati today, I'm gonna hold off on taking Colorado. In general, though, I'm not super high on Bonilla, and Drew Martin might be right that he might have an okay start here. It's not clear how the bullpen will affect. The doubleheader will affect Colorado, but the bullpen is definitely getting a little bit worn out with Colorado. Their usage is up.
Mets fans suggest that Pete, you might need to get some.
Some what?
Some.
Yeah, no shit. Thank you. Thanks. That's why I'm fucking like doing everything I can. And actually, ex-girlfriend called me up last night out of the blue. So hopefully, that'll be. I wonder how that'll affect my handicap.
A little not so strange.
I don't know. You know how there's a lot of sports betting stars, including Ronda Rousey, who abstain from all that stuff when they're trying to perform at
that
peak
stuff.
value.
Yeah.
So
what's his name? Verlander.
Yeah, a lot of them. Yeah, right. Exactly. So I don't know how. I mean, women muddle your mind. Any way, shape, even just talking to them, it muddles your mind. So, and actually they've done studies about that men literally actually get stupider in the presence of women. They've done studies about that.
I'll go with that.
Yeah, that they've done clinical studies that men in the presence of women get dumber.
Yes.
And that's why I loved Teddy Covers so much a long time ago, because in his bio he said, I don't have kids, I don't have a wife, I don't drink, all I do is handicapping. That was in his bio a bunch of years ago. Now though, he's married with a kid.
Okay.
So that's why I'm like, I brought him down a notch in my mind. I'm sorry. But when I
shout out to Teddy.
Yeah, shout out to Teddy. No, but I told Teddy that, I was like, he used to be an absolute top tier handicapper. And then when I found out that he got married and had a kid,
he's just some asshole with a kid.
No. Just until further notice, had to bring him down to second tier because you know.
They've done studies for that with athletes too.
What?
With once they start dating.
Yes, of course. Yes.
The funny thing is it affects baseball,
yes,
basketball, day-to-day sports.
Right.
Yes.
It affects everything.
NFL players increase performance.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Slightly.
Huh.
Shout out to Harvard Sports Analytics.
Cromartie should be the best football player ever to exist, right? His wife is pregnant, by the way.
Shout out to Harvard Sports Analytics. I did read, Zach did send me that article, a very interesting article to read, and that's interesting. So maybe it's that sports that involve more precision and more discipline.
More travel.
Yeah, right.
Out of the house.
Right.
Get that phone and give them a call.
Like NBA would be the worst for that, I would guess.
Right. That's interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, how all this because you do for the professional gamblers sports bettors that I know, most of them see the players as just random number generators. That's what they refer to them as, and it is advantageous from their perspective to see them as that. But in fact, they're not. You know what I mean? In fact, they're not. Well, what do you have?
I bet his dick looks like a burnt chicken tender. Ooh.
Let's move on. Let's move on, shall we? All right. Okay. All right.
I have a picture of one of those like dinosaur chicken tenders too. It's all crazy.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. Other games. I've given my picks as of right now. Once again, what have I given? I've given the Cubs.
Arizona -1, Milwaukee, Chicago under 8 + 104.
That's right. I've only given 2 picks. I've given a lot of opinions and leans. I might throw on another one. So I'm leaning towards making official Cleveland, Houston over and the Washington -1. Not sure I'm going to handle that at the end of this show. I might just stick with the 2 that I've given. And I guess, look, people need the official low hanging fruit of the day. I guess it does have to be Arizona -1. It does have to be.
It has to be. Automatically.
Right.
Because it will be. Right.
Jared Weaver starting. If Taijuan Walker comes in and has a shutdown start, it cashes. If Taijuan Walker comes in and has a subpar start, it still might cash in the later innings when Arizona has a line of advantage. If Taijuan Walker comes in and has a subpar start, but Jared Weaver comes in and gets absolutely destroyed, it still cashes. That's it, guys. The official low-hanging fruit of the day. And what I love about it is just the number. It's like -105.
There's only really one factor, not only one factor, but that's just a one major factor you have to pay attention to.
There you go.
Mr.
Arizona shit away at bat. That's true. Arizona is shit. Arizona is worse on the road. But factor here is Jared Weaver. I'm going to take Arizona -1 as the low hanging fruit of the day, and the Cubs in Milwaukee is all right. So let's look at some of the questions and comments. Let's see. What about the Dodgers again on the run line? All right.
It would have to be.
What?
I mean, if you're going to look at the Dodgers, you got to take.
The problem is that the Dodgers on the run line here. The Dodgers on the run line. When I took them yesterday, the -1, it wound up being 130, and of course it got bet up, but it was a modest line. Here, I mean, you're talking about like a -150 or -160 line. I mean,
is that on the -1?
What?
That's
just on the -1, right?
That's horrible.
The actual -1.5 line is about -105, -110.
Mets bank it tonight.
The Mets bank it tonight, maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to hold off on that one. My lean on that game is to the under, and maybe a shot with the Angels second half. As far as the full game is concerned, I'm not. I'm holding off on that.
Take a lean on the Cards.
I'm sorry.
Leaning on the Cardinals a little bit.
Leaning on the Cardinals. Oh, that one had no overnight. More against Waka, so I did. That was the one game that didn't have an overnight, so I have not.
You mentioned something the other day that I've been thinking about. You said that Wrigley, was it that there's no early odds for games?
Yeah, there was no early totals. Yeah.
Why?
Well, because of the weather factor. I mean, they used to get killed on that. Yeah, because guys would look at the weather in advance, bet the overnight lines, and have a massive edge.
All right. I'm thinking about that for a few days.
Toy Review is asking Mets team total at 4. Loshak approved. I don't know if he's asking about the over or the under. My sense on that game is I would lean under. Obviously, the Mets have been much better offensively than we were ever expecting, and Nolasco has been giving up some serious home runs in his past few games and having control issues, and that's not good. But if you gave me a free play right now on the Mets team total at 4, I would take a shot with the under. All right, so let's see. Atlanta, Washington, over under. I was leaning over on that one. I would have been leaning over on that one for sure if Freeman was in. It's a little bit high now. The question is just, I would be leaning Washington team total over. It's just how much offense is Atlanta going to provide for you? And again, Dickey tends not to get absolutely crushed. So if Gonzalez has a shutdown start, which is absolutely within the realm of possibilities, it's not likely that Washington takes care of most of the total themselves. So that's again another one where I'm holding off for here. All right, okay, let's see. Tampa Bay -1 first 5 innings. I don't know if you can bet -1. You can bet -0.5 in the first 5 innings, and plus at some places you can actually.
That might be nice.
Tampa Bay -1 at +225.
I like that.
Let me see. That is Ramirez with and Severino. Yeah, sure. Why not? I'm liking the Yankees in general. I'm not happy to fade the Yankees. Ramirez is one of these guys. I remember when he came back, when he was one of these guys who gets converted from the bullpen to starting pitching to the starting rotation. And throughout his career, he's tended to be like okay, especially when he first gets back into the starting rotation. He doesn't go deep, of course, but he does tend to, when he starts going back into the rotation, give you 5 nice innings, 3 strikeouts, nothing eye-popping, but gets results. So, yeah, I could certainly see that one. That's a game where I'm holding off on for now. Toy Reviews 51 said, I'd assume Diamondbacks team total over 4.5. Yes, I do like that one, but my pick on the game is Diamondbacks -1.
I still want to know what kind of toys you review.
Yeah, good point. All right. Oh, James Stay saying Bet 365. Yeah, I don't use Bet 365, but they do have freaking everything. That freaking book.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
I was
Bet
using them
365
for
has freaking everything.
Something this weekend.
And if they don't have it, you can probably call up and they'll just give it to you.
Yeah.
but yeah. Daniel Weissler asking about White Sox team total over. Yes, maybe. Like I said, I'm leaning over in general in that one. And I like the White Sox. I like the full game over as well, because I feel like with both Quintana and Miranda, there's a little bit of uncertainty there. Both those guys could easily have a shutdown start. Both those guys could also get hit. Again, the White Sox have been great against lefties this year, but Miranda, when he's on his game, if he's not having control issues, can become borderline unhittable. So that might be a situation where you're going to need 6 or 7 runs from one of these teams. So I prefer to take the full game over on that one as opposed to the White Sox team total over. But yeah, I am leaning to the over in that one in general.
Do we ever see Pistol Pete in a sports jersey? And
sports
if
jersey.
so,
yeah, sure.
Which one would it be?
I don't know. I'll wear anything. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to get to questions.
I got a children's-sized Dan Marino jersey at my desk. You're happy to wear. You're welcome to wear.
Tomor says Dodgers bullpen have been solid and Nicolino doesn't pitch deep. Marlins bullpen is trash. Yes. You could make a great argument for even taking the Dodgers at -230 or whatever it is right now.
What?
I'm not going to do
What's that argument?
The argument is
a great argument for that. It's a terrible idea.
No, the argument is that Miami is so bad in so many areas of the game that, and Wood obviously has been who he is. Nicolino is a little bit of a wild card, though. Nicolino doesn't go deep. That's right, but it's just too high of a line for me, and I'm not going to be able to pull the trigger on that one. All right, let's see. A lot of questions.
There you go. There's Pete in the jersey.
All right. Yeah, a lot of questions about Mike Brenner. Everyone knows what the deal with him is. 2 sides to every coin. Obviously, we had a lot of magic, and we're hoping to be working together in the future again. 2 sides to every story, though, of course. All right. Let's see. Don't pull a Matt Harvey on us. Oh, yeah, he's talking about with chicks, right? He's saying if I said that's an old one. That's an old one. All right. Let's see. Other.
You know what's funny? I didn't notice that you say "let's see" until somebody pointed it out yesterday.
Yeah, I do.
I'm obsessing over it.
Yeah, you're right. It's true. Thank you to Odds Couple fan for pointing out my nervous tick of repeatedly saying "let's see."
Distracting me.
I hate I hate nervous ticks, and thank you for pointing it out to me. And I'm going to stop doing it.
Yeah, now it's bugging me too.
Yep. Lauren Sturcio says less is more most of the time. Thank you, Lauren Sturcio. Yes, nice comment, and I'm happy to give.
Say Lauren.
Lauren, yeah.
Oh my God.
But I mean, the thing is, I give 1 or 2 picks. But I give my comments and opinions and analysis on like every freaking game. It's not like I'm giving 2 picks and then that's it. I give you.
Yeah, we don't have a 3-minute show.
I could understand if someone was complaining that I didn't even discuss the other games, but I discussed the games and then I give my official picks to keep an official record to see how legit my actual opinions, how valuable my opinions actually are. All right, so let's see. Yes, Tomor is thinking I think Hellickson is undervalued. Yes, that's a good point. Hellickson, great point here. Great comment here by Tomor in the Pittsburgh Philly game. He's been solid against shitty lineups. That is true. Hellickson's last 3 starts have been bad, but they've all been against tough situations, against Chicago and then twice.
That's a good point.
Against Washington. Yeah. So it is tempting to take Philly here, except, okay, Hellickson has been solid against shitty lineups, Philly has been a shitty team against everyone over the past, 12, 15 games. And Pittsburgh has actually been a bit better at home. And Philly is just not getting it done at all. On the other side, Trevor Williams, a question. His last start was good. Long term, I'm definitely looking to fade him. But it's just I think I have to take a little bit more of a reason to take Philly here at a relatively low road underdog line than that Hellickson's last 3 shitty starts were excusable. You know what I mean?
No, it's Mr. Wings Martin.
The reason to take Philly here is that Hellickson's last 3 starts were shitty but excusable is not enough for me to want to take.
It's not.
Not enough for me to want to take Philly here. All right.
But that's
Brian Johnson saying, just found this show and I'm glad I did. Great stuff, fellas. Thank you so much,
Love
Brian
your music,
Johnson.
sir.
Thank you so much, no homo. All right, let's see. Ricardo Ramirez saying, thank you, Pete. I don't know what thank you for, but thank you so much, Ricardo Ramirez. Thank you. Love you, guy, no homo. All right, let's
Fistful
see.
of parlays. We're shouting him out. What's up?
He's following us on Twitter right now.
Thank you, Fistful of parlays.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's see. A lot of Tom Moore saying low hanging fruit is fading Matt Moore in St. Louis. Yes, that might be the case.
Yeah.
Matt Moore is definitely a guy who I'm looking for, as I've said many times, looking for a surprisingly decent results in pitcher-friendly parks against weak lineups, but against everyone else, a guy I'm looking to fade. So I agree with that. I just can't comment fully on that game because it didn't have an overnight line, so I didn't analyze that game deep as of right now. But yes, for sure, I'm looking to fade Matt Moore in general, unless he's facing crappy lineups.
I always love this question. Peter, do you bet for real?
Yeah, I bet for real.
Do you even lift, bro?
Every day I bet for real, and I have every day for the past 12 or 15 years of my life, except for the All-Star break. The All-Star break, those 3 days are the days when I actually look and I'm like, well, okay, I have absolutely no bets today. But yes, I have to bet for real, and I bet every day of my life except for the All-Star break for the past 12 or 15 years or whatever. All right, let's see. Odds couple fans saying Bauer is going to get lit with like 15 tees. That might be the case. That's what I'm thinking as well. So yes, Pomarino, Torino, yes, agreeing with you that low-hanging fruit could be, not low-hanging fruit, but that fading Matt Moore against decent lineups is something that I'm looking to do. All right, so let's wrap it up. Let's see. All right, oh God, there's so many comments. Thanks for all the comments, guys. I just can't.
We appreciate that.
I really appreciate it.
And guys, don't forget to like and subscribe too, so you can get updates whenever we go live with anything.
Yeah, thanks for all the comments. I want to get to all the comments and most of the comments are going to be about specific games, and I do at some point in the video touch on every game. That's why the friggin' videos are like 30 minutes long. You might think, all right, 30-minute video, but we touch on every single game. And the times we're not touching on games, we're throwing in jokes, which aren't always great. But this show, the jokes are pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Anyone who's watching, look. I think that this show, the jokes were pretty damn good and worth the extra time that we spent.
You almost made me fall over when you told everybody to eat you.
Exactly. Eat me, assholes who have fucking haters who are like, look, haters, no. If I have a shitty record and you call me out on it, absolutely, that is totally fine. Do not eat me. But if I go 3-1 or 3-0-1, and you tell me I had a losing day, and if I've been honest about my record for like 10 years in a row, and you tell me that I lie about my picks and record, eat me, all right? Yes, absolutely, eat me. All right. So that's it. Toy Review saying Loshak seems like a veteran, 20-plus years at least. He probably capped in the 80s on index cards. Yes, I did. In fact, I was known in high school for handicapping horses.
Do they call you 2x5?
No, I would go around and I was just obsessed with handicapping horses, not betting on them.
Horses.
Just,
you talked
that's
about
what I
this
started.
before.
And I just loved it. And it was just like a game. I wasn't actually
Did you
betting.
go?
Did I go to the track?
Yeah.
Actually, no, but I had a friend who was super into it and a little bit of a gambling problem, and he would take me there sometimes, and he would always beg me to go with him and stuff like that.
Which one? What's that casino out there?
No. It was we went to Meadowlands.
Meadowlands. Oh, right, of course.
Yeah, because he had a car, and he was or his dad had a car, or whatever. And
What's
he
the
knew
one
how to
out in
drive.
Queens or the Bronx? They always have the commercial on the radio.
Well, there's Aqueduct, and there's Belmont, and there's yeah. So
Aqueduct.
All right, that's about it. As of right now, I've given Milwaukee, Chicago under. I've given Arizona -1 as the low-hanging fruit of the day. I should probably give.
Anything on the Preakness?
Yes. I'm looking to as people know, I bet the Triple Crown race with matchup props. Definitely looking to fade. Looking at Lee. I'm going to look to fade looking at Lee with maybe one of the top horses, maybe depending on what the odds are, because it might be minus 200 or something like that. Looking to fade looking at Lee, and I'm looking to maybe, and I'm definitely looking to bet on Cloud Computing with in matchup props. And if they're matched up against each other, I will definitely be betting on Cloud Computing. Cloud Computing will probably be a slight dog because looking at Lee has shorter odds right now. That'll probably be like Cloud Computing, like plus 100, maybe plus 105. And if that's the case, my pick if that matchup prop is offered, my pick for the Preakness will be Cloud Computing over looking at Lee in a matchup prop. Okay.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So let me think about the other picks I want to give. All right. You know what I will do? Okay. I'll give Washington -1. Washington -1. The money line part of that is minus 160, and the run line part of that is is plus 104. All right, so I'm looking at like a minus 130 situation there, which is a little bit higher than I would like. But I will give that one as a third pick. Washington -1. Other game that I am tempted to give is my official leans would be Detroit, even though that's that's a pretty high line. Cleveland and Houston over. That's definitely a lean. And you know what? Oh gosh, that is tough. That is tough because Houston's kind of like Toronto, the Rogers Center. It's a hitter-friendly park in many ways, but tends to be a lot of overs, even when unders, even when big lineups come in, kind of unexpectedly. So you know what? I'm going to leave that one as a lean. Cleveland and Houston over, but that is definitely a very strong lean for me. And I guess that is about it. Also, the Angels and the Mets, very, very minor lean for me. And that is going to be about it. All right. And also the White Sox in Seattle, the over. I really want to take that one.
What is it?
It's 7.5 minus 109. I could take that one. Save
that one for Instagram later.
You think so?
You're not sold on it, so don't post it out right now.
Yeah.
All right. Trying to squeeze out a questionable fart, you don't want to take
all right.
Heap and steamer.
So I will just stick with the 3 official plays here. Cubs, Milwaukee under 8. Arizona -1, low hanging fruit of the day, and I just added on Washington -1. Those are the only 3 official plays for me, and the leans are Seattle White Sox over, Houston Cleveland over, Detroit on the money line, and I guess a very, very small lean to the Angels and the Mets under, and that is about it. And I think we can wrap up the show. Thanks so much. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope it was worth your time, and and then I guess the other small lean along with the Arizona -1 would be Arizona team total over, which is a no-brainer there. But I'm gonna stick it with just the Arizona -1 for my bet. That wraps up the show. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you found the information useful. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll be back Monday. Hopefully, I will have had another unit or 2 added to my overall record. Thanks, guys.